Movies can make you cry, they can make you question your entire life, and they can motivate you to do incredible things. For me in recent times, this movie was Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. I contribute a huge part of this to the amazing score written by Lorne Belf. If you've never watched the Mission Impossible movie, I highly recommend checking them out. They are way better than their reputation, and in my opinion, even better than the James Bond movies. The first music piece I want to talk about is called Chasing Grace. I already talked about it in a previous video, but I want to go more in depth here. Basically just as, first of all, C minor. But the composer already destabilizes C minor by going through A flat major. So we're not exactly sure on which key we are at the beginning. You can hear it in the horns, the A flat major. Starts with low brass. This is the first part of the piece. What do we have here? This is basically just median harmonies he's using with some suspensions, which basically means he jumps around in thirds with the harmonies. So we start with C major. Then there's some kind of augmented chord. I'm not exactly sure what it is. That could be something in G major, so the dominant. And then E major. So a third downwards. C sharp minor with a suspension on the 4. Then we go back to C minor. And then comes G sharp minor, which is the third downwards. E major again. And again C minor after the E major with a 9. If you haven't noticed it, the original Mission Impossible theme is actually in there. Another thing I want to mention why this is so powerful is because of the huge jumps in the melody. Every time we jump up like a seventh or an octave, there's just huge tension because it's not something where you would be able to sing very well. There's this rule when composing for singers that it should be normally not more than a third or fourth, and I think you want to save those strong intervals for when you actually need them, like in this piece. Again, A minor, A flat major. The same chords again. Minor, C sharp minor, and C minor. It's the same. A bit more tension because the violins are direct fire. Same, but a bit lower. Here, he goes different. So he makes this first time. You start in C minor. You have the first melody that ends on the third. And then he starts again. C minor, he plays a bit around with A flat major. Then, again, first melody, the first part of the melody, the second melody. And then comes the third time, where he does something different. Very often in music, like in every other way, the third time will be different, because if you want to set up a pattern, you need to at least hear it twice to be able to recognize it as the pattern. If you just make something once and you break it directly, it's not a pattern. So he makes something twice, a bit different, and then he changes it. So he breaks the rule, and that's what makes it interesting. So from C major, we start again. I think this time we go instantly to the second part, to G sharp minor. And here it's different, to C minor. So we just jump around thirds downwards, and then we go back the exact same route we came from. So instead of going to C minor, just randomly, like we always did before, we go to E major again. And back to G sharp minor, A major, E flat major, dominant 7. And this is, in my opinion, the climax. Maybe for you it's different. We always play around with median harmonies here at the beginning, like so with thirds, which is fine. That's nothing too crazy. But I think when it gets interesting is when he changes the pattern as well, and he goes from G sharp minor, he shifts it to A major. G sharp and A are very close, so if you take G sharp minor, which is G sharp, B and D sharp, and you have A sharp and E, you would think it's close, but if you shift chords, they are pretty far away from each other actually. So if you would have G sharp minor, something like C minor would be way closer, or D flat major, even if it seems super crazy for you now. Like just a semitone, it's pretty far away actually. Because in G sharp minor we don't have an A, but we have an A sharp instead of. So it's pretty far away, just remember this. So G sharp minor, A major, already far away, and then this, E flat major. This is as far away as he could go. Why does it sound so crazy and amazing? Because A major and E flat major dominant 7 have a difference of a tritone. This is pretty important to remember. The tritone is as far away in harmony as you basically could go. If we start from C, the furthest away would be F sharp. Why not the 6th note of the scale, an A? Because you could just go in the other direction, and an A is just a third downwards. So the tritone is always the furthest away. It's exactly 6 semitones in either direction. Everything is closer. And if you build, let's take C major for simplicity, a C major chord, and you have this F sharp, and you build a major chord out of the F sharp, those two scales have nothing in common. So C major is just the white keys, and F sharp major is just nearly completely different. They're just two notes. So the B is the same. And I made several videos now, I think so, about these relationships between those chords and why I think they're so awesome. And the composer of Mission Impossible knows that this makes such a huge impact, and that's why he reserved this for the climax of the piece. You can pretty much imagine what is going on in the scene. It's pretty intense. It's called Chasing Grace. So he's chasing after Grace, Ethan Hunt, the main character, which is played by Tom Cruise. And it fits very well with this night scenery. I think it's in Venice, I'm not sure. There are multiple Chasing Grace scenes in the movie. The second thing that helps very much to make this so epic is that the melody jumps an octave. There's not that much to explain. An octave, if you jump up, it is just intense. This is just how we humans feel music. There's some kind of musical logic that is just there. I don't know if it's because we trained us to hear this or if it's just nature, but if you have huge intervals, it's just intense. And this is also what makes the whole piece so intense and so great. And also, obviously, these repeated patterns in the strings also give this drive and always forward-going motive. Major after this, E major, E flat major, and at the end he just ends again with the melody. Then he comes the part in between again with this rhythmic motif, and then he goes back to the original theme again. C minor, G major, C minor again. And then it just fades out. Here at the end with the C minor, there's again the theme of the original Mission Impossible. The variant, the second one of the original. When found part in the melody as well, there's a tritone, so it makes it very intensive. As I mentioned in the other video already, if you look at the general dramaturgy of the piece, it goes up and dips down again. This is the first part of everything. It goes up again, dips down a bit, then there's this climax with the tritone, and it dips down a bit, it stays a bit there because the melody comes again, and then at the end it just dips down and fades out. So we go 2 times up, and the third time is the climax. As you might recognize, there's always this pattern of 3, because it just seemed to work always with humans. I love this piece, I've listened to it so many times. I think it was my number 1 on Spotify for like a very long time. There's one other piece I want to show you, which is very similar to Chasing Grace, the one we listened to at the beginning, which is called Ponte dei Consafelsi. It's basically the same thing, but in a soft manner. Something bad happened, I'm not saying what in the movie. And I think this is the music afterwards. It's in Venice, so that you can have some atmosphere, that you know what it's about. It starts directly with the second motif. And it's the first time it already goes different like the second one. Like Chasing Grace. Now we are already in A major. But this time we're not playing around with the tritone. We go different. C minor, back to the original key of the piece. If you have noticed, this time he sticks longer on the A flat, and because he sticks longer there, it hurts more. It doesn't hurt that much, but if you wait on the dissonant, the resolution is also more powerful because there was more pain before. C minor, A flat major, then F major immediate, median downwards again, so A flat major, F minor, third downwards, and then to major, which is also again very strong, because if you have a minor chord and a minor chord, 2/3 downwards always, you would probably expect a minor chord again, and then comes this major chord, and it just makes the impact so much stronger of this. I don't know what it should mean, hope, whatever, but it's very strong, and there's a huge emphasis on this. So to conclude, what I wanted to tell you today. Why is this so great? First of all, mediant harmonies. Second of all, huge jumps. Third, the tritone. And fourth, suspensions on these mediant chord progressions. Add some great dramaturgy and you have a great piece. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was a bit more freestyle. I hope I didn't mess up too much. Click this video right here next. Thanks for watching, and we see each other on the next one.